Welcome. Today we are going to discuss a topic, diagrammatic and graphical presentation techniques. Last class we discussed advantages and disadvantages of diagrammatic and graphical presentation of data. We discussed various advantages and disadvantages, and also if you want to get any such type of advantages at the time of presenting the data in the form of graphs and diagrams, we should use some techniques. Then and only we might get that much of advantages, otherwise that is disadvantage. As you know that the information what we are going to be studied in the form of research, what the data is collected, if you are presenting shown that information in the form of charts, it should be easily understand the others, so that we are using the charts. So what I am saying is, charts are an excellent way to give a large amount of information into a easy to understandable formats and clearly highlighting the points what we have to identify, and we would like to make some statements. See, there are different types of charts may be available for the part of deciding or presenting the data in understandable manner. See, whenever we are presenting the information, you should think about what we have to give, which type of information we have to be pass on to the readers, or we would like to tell them. Based on that information, we would identify the better graph, because we have different types of charts are available, so that we should identify the best one and which is suitable for the study. Now we are going to see what are the different types of charts are there, and we will discuss one by one. The first one is vertical bar charts. The vertical bar charts which are shown in the image, these are the best for comparing the data which are grouped discrete categories. See, these vertical bar charts are using when we do not have too many groups. We may say that the groups are less than 20, usually good for these vertical bar charts. Here in these vertical bar charts, each bar is separated by a blank space, which indicates that there is no inherent order to your group. When you observe the vertical bar chart, maybe in an image, you may get a clear idea. Then second one, stacked bar charts. See, these are another type of bar charts which are having great choice of the researcher if he want to convey the size of group relative to the other groups. Maybe within one graph we might see different types of groups, but also it illustrates the parts that make up the whole group. When you observe these bars, you might see in 3 different colors in one particular graph. By observing this stacked bar charts, we can easily identify maybe this color is having this much of groups, or maybe in the particular year, etc. By comparing, by seeing the bar charts directly based on different groups in one particular bar, we will get a clear information. The next one, histogram. See, I think already you had an idea about histogram, how to draw the histogram, and maybe with the help of histogram we would make we can draw a trend line also. You may solve the problems in your business statistics. But coming to this histogram, a histogram is visually interesting combination of vertical bar charts and a line charts. That means here it is look like vertical bars and without any space between two bars, and once we draw the histogram, we have to draw a trend line also. The help of the histogram and particular line, we can easily predicting what happened in the coming year, maybe in previous years. The continuous variable shown on the x-axis is broken into discrete intervals, and the number of data the researcher is that a discrete interval determines the height of the bar. And these histograms are shown a great choice, maybe illustrating the distributors of your data. Next, coming to horizontal bars. Right. It is also similar to the vertical bar chart, but it is typically used when the number of categories is large. That means greater than 10 groups. Usually we are using the horizontal bars instead of vertical bars. Whenever the categories is large, we may say that normally more than 10 groups usually, but less than 10 groups it should be useful for vertical bar charts. And maybe whenever the researcher have a large labels that the researcher would like to display for each category, then he go for horizontal bars. It is much easier to read the labels when they are displayed in a proper orientation. See, once again repeat, here it is similar to the vertical bar charts, and what is the major difference is that whenever the categories of groups is more than 10 groups, usually we are preferring horizontal bars, and if not the categories is less than 10 groups, we go for vertical bar charts. The horizontal bar charts is shown in the image. Next, coming to pie charts. I think you had good idea about these pie charts, because how the circle is going to be making different parts which are representing different types of groups by giving different colors and maybe shading. The pie charts are easily to read and giving some fun also. Look at making them a great choice. The researcher wants to understand the parts of a whole. That means how we are going to be dividing a whole into parts. See, it is a good practice to order the pieces of the information, maybe the pie, according to size, and always ensure the total of the pieces add up 100%. That means we are taking as a whole is 100%, but how many groups are there which can be representing as a percentage from 100%, some percentage from the 100%, which I can mention in the pie charts. Maybe it is like 39%, we shall mention shown in different types of colors as well. Right. Next, coming to line charts. See, these line charts are used to show resulting data relative to a continuous variable. It is related to that mainly or commonly time or money, and these are great for projections of performance beyond the data. For example, if you take the information what we are floated on graphs, especially in the form of line charts, we will take a comparison of sales versus month. On month wise, how much sales we are getting. It should be suitable for line charts over the past 2 years, and also it should be easy for the reader to identify maybe a trend. That means based by seeing the past experience, past last month sales, we may be projecting the future sales. That means upcoming months or maybe upcoming year. Right. Next, coming to area charts. An area chart is similar to line chart, but the space between x axis and the lines is filled with a color or pattern. When you observe line charts, we might see in different lines, but coming to these area charts, the between lines there is a gap, but it is covered by a color or a pattern. It is useful for showing a part to whole relations, such as showing individual sales representative contribution to the sales for a year. That means, see, if you take an individual performance for overall total sales, showing individual sales representatives contribution to the sales for a year. It helps to analyze both overall and individual trend information. Simply, whereas in this line charts, how we are projecting about the future, forecasting about the future, upcoming years or maybe months. Similarly, whereas in this area charts, we might identifying what is the individual performance or contribution for overall performance of the sales. Next, coming to scatter plot chart. See, the scatter means without any order, it should be spreading the overall space, covering the face. Especially we go for this scatter plot to know the relationship between two different variables, right? A scatter plot chart will show the relationship between two different variables. Scatter plots are useful for quickly understanding if there is any relationship between two variables. At the time of discussing correlation, we might see these type of scatter images, maybe scatter points in the particular variables. If the data forms a band extending from lower left to the upper right, maybe between two variables, then there most likely a positive correlation between two variables. That means if you want to measure the relationship between two or more variables, or maybe at least two variables, we may say that positive correlation or negative correlation. If the band runs from upper left to lower right, a negative correlation is probable. Maybe if it is hard to see a pattern, there is probably no correlation. That means when you observing these scattered points, maybe which are representing in the blue dots, there is no correlation. That means it is something difficult to draw to identify there is a relationship between two variables. Then coming to next one, bubble chart. The bubble chart is similar, just a minute, bubble chart is similar to scatter plot, but bubble chart is similar to the scatter plot, but you can, the researcher can introduce a third variable to the visualization by having the size of the bubble indicate the value of three variables. Maybe if you are using, we had only two variables, we go for scatter or maybe any other charts, but if you are mentioning about introduce a third variable, we go for this bubble chart. A bubble chart is similar to the scatter plot, but you can introduce a third variable to the visualization by having the size of the bubble indicating the value of three variables. Really it is a good option for understanding the relationship between continuous variables. Coming to next chart is funnel chart. The funnel chart is shown in the image. These are often used to represent how something moves throughout different stages. It displays value as progressively decreasing proportion accounting to 100% in total. That means if we take, it is a decreasing proportion progressively, first we are consider 100%, then coming to decreasing the 100%, ends with a lower percentage indicating how something drops out of the process at each step or stage. It is very common use for a funnel chart is to track sales conversion in a sales pipeline. Maybe if you are taking 100% sales, then how it can be decreasing in sometimes. Then next one, bullet chart. The bullet chart is shown in image. It is typically to display performance data related to a goal. That means the bullet indicating that the name itself telling to aim to a goal, to reach a goal. A bullet graph reveals progress towards a goal. That means the bullet graph shown the progress towards a goal, comparing this to another measure and provides context in the form of rating or performance. Maybe by mentioning the information what we had in the form of shown in the form of bullet chart, we can easily identify either we are going in a right way, our progress is towards goal or not. Then next one, heat map. A heat map shows the relationship between two times and providing rating information such as high to low or poor to excellent. The rating information which are mentioned in the form of various colors, varying colors, and might be saturation. A simple heat map provides an immediate visual summary of information. Maybe by seeing the colors which are there in the particular image in the map, we can identify the red color is something that is like discussing an issue. There can be many ways to display the heat maps, but they all share one thing in common. They use colors to communicate relationship between the data. And last one, box plot. It provides the readers a quick way to visually summarize the data, including average values, variation in the data, and whether outliers are present. If there are multiple boxes floated in the graph, you can easily comparing between different groups of continuous data. These are different types of techniques which we are which we are covering, diagrammatic and graphical presentation techniques. Based on the data what we collected, the information what we collected, and suitable for our study, we should select the best one and give the information easily understand to the readers or the target audience. This is about today topic what we discussed up to now, and next class we are going to discuss another topic.